Ladies and gentlemen, and today something very big is happening.
It's been 8 months since we visited our 100th country and we needed a bit of a break.
We're back!
Feels amazing to be back on YouTube, making videos and connecting with our followers. Traveling again. We're still a bit damaged, I think, but you know, just gotta keep going. It's been many months since we were in a new country, so I'm mentally ready, I think. But now we're super excited. We're gonna spend 5 days in our 101st country.
Yes! And I think it's gonna be a very cool and beautiful and relaxing one, which is good.
Yeah, it's not a very difficult 101st country. We wanted to ease back in.
We started traveling together about 8 years ago, and for the past 3 years until the end of 2022, we intentionally tried to visit 100 countries together. We finally completed it last year by visiting New Zealand as our last country. So the fact that we're now about to travel to our 101st country is just insane. Guys, we decided to try something new today, a reality TV show format where we can share more of our thoughts and reactions along the way, giving you a fuller picture of the experience and hopefully an even more entertaining video. We're calling it the Oskar and Dan show, and we're really curious to hear what you think of this because we really enjoyed making it.
We already had a bit of a hiccup, which is like, okay, thank goodness we took this break, because if this had happened last year,
I think
we
even
would have
just
been freaking out.
Yeah, even just something small like that would have like sent us into a rage.
Exactly. So can you please put in a disclaimer here that I'm not as bad as I appear in this video. I'm really trying to just express my thoughts, even the deepest, darkest, most shallow ones. Sorry in advance. We feel a bit scanned, which is so annoying.
Most countries have removed all their like COVID restrictions, all that kind of stuff, like health flags and stuff.
No, but even the most extreme ones, like China has removed most of it. Thailand, New Zealand, so many super strict countries. And then our 101st country still has a health form, but it's also not instantly approved. So we had to pay 145 euros in order to get it processed in less than an hour. How do I feel about countries making money grabs at tourists who have no choice? Not great. And it's just a way of like exploiting people who are desperate to go.
Just a tourist tax, basically.
Yeah, you've already paid for everything, so of course you have to pay that, which is just like so shady.
One of the most amazing things about Dan is that he's really retained this sense of being a kid. Like, he gets into that childlike excitement, especially at airports. Anytime we have a bus gate, he'll just be glued to the window, recording everything, looking at all the planes.
During takeoff, I'm like, this is it. This is the moment. Let's go. And let's not crash. No, I mean...
This flight is so cool. We're passing right next to Socotra Island in Yemen, which for seasoned travelers is like one of the most famous destinations in the world because it has so many different endemic species, it has a very unique culture, and it's also one of the easiest or safest ways to visit Yemen. So hopefully one day we'll make it there as well. Not today though, just passing by.
Okay, so a few clues as to where we're going. It is remote.
It is a country that is technically part of the continent of Africa.
It is very popular, trendy, expensive.
It is actually the smallest country in all of Africa by land size. The people here are a very big mix of ethnicities from all around.
What's that down there? I hope that's the Seychelles, because that's where we're supposed to be going. All right, we made it to 101.
How cool is this? That's our current location in the middle of the ocean.
When I land in a new country, I feel so excited. It's a huge adrenaline kick. wherever you are. You could be in the world's worst, most horrible country, but just the feeling of being in a place you've never been before, that's the most addicting feeling when it comes to travel.
And if you, like us, get a kick out of seeing new places, you're gonna wanna stick around for this.
One of our biggest headaches when traveling full-time was keeping up with travel planning. Booking flights is only a tiny portion of everything that goes into a trip, because then you gotta figure out where to stay, what to eat, what sights to see, how to get around, etc.
Luckily, we live in 2023 and we no longer have to do all of this by ourselves. The sponsor of today's episode is Magic, your personal AI travel assistant. Let me start off with the craziest part of all, which is that Magic is 100% free. There's no subscription fee and they don't charge anything for booking through them, so you don't really have to do anything outside of the platform.
Magic does so much more than just suggest itineraries based on your preferences, such as dietary restrictions or interests. It can even give you things like an overall review of a hotel based on what people are saying all over the internet, so you know what place to book and what to expect when you get there. And see, every time we book with Magic or share with friends, we collect Magic Elixir, which we can then use to get deals between 5 and 40% off.
Let's travel like it's 2023 and use Magic to plan your next trip. Follow the link in the description or in the pinned comment and check out Magic for yourself. So the hotel that we're staying at is on another island out or away from the main island. So we're heading now to the jetty where we're catching our ferry. Wow, look at that. It's like a just tropical paradise. And like Dan said, the temperature is perfect. It's a pretty short drive from the airport all the way to the jetty, but we pass through Victoria, which is the capital of the Seychelles. And it takes us probably a total of like 5 or 6 minutes to pass through the entire town. So we're really in Africa's smallest country. What's the religion here in Seychelles? Uh-huh. Okay, so a little bit of everything.
Do you have any Hindu or Buddhist? Sometimes I think we wonder if it's a good idea to ask locals about, questions about demographics or questions about religion, things that many people we've learned in our travels are not very educated about even in their own countries. So you end up getting all these random, facts that are very alternative.
This island, Mahe, is part of the 3 main inhabited islands in the Seychelles, but there are 155 named islands in their constitution. The islands were originally discovered by the Portuguese, then settled by the French, and then settled by the English, and then gained their independence. But what's really interesting, and I don't think we've ever been to a country like this before, there is no pre-colonial history, basically, of the Seychelles. We're like fully in the White Lotus arrival lounge now, so we're having our Tanya moment.
First meal in the Seychelles is super local. Not really, but the amazing and impressive thing is that they have vegan cheese. This is incredible. I am such a foodie, and if I don't find good food, I can manage for one meal, but after that, things go downhill because I want to enjoy every meal we have. Life is about enjoying food for me, so if, there's, let's say, multiple days without good food, that's not going to be good for my mental health. Vegansk ost. Det är båda gott för... Men det är helt sjukt att de har det här. And although Oskar probably doesn't suffer from having bad food, he'll suffer because I'm suffering from not having good food.
Alright, I didn't take my sunglasses out of my bag yet, so I'm gonna be squinting like this. So the reason why we went to the Seychelles for our 101st country is because we're taking August off, and now that you're seeing this, you'll see this in September when it comes up. And so we were debating, what should we do? In the end, we said that this is a good opportunity to finally break the perfect 100 number and go to country 101. I guess it has felt a little daunting to go to country 101 because it signals that now we're in this new era and like we really have to sort of go for every country now. And so then we thought, you know, where can we go that's not, you know, too big of a, I guess, challenge or like too sort of off the beaten path. And that's when we decided on the Seychelles, because what could be more relaxing, more unwinding than coming to this tropical paradise in the middle of the Indian Ocean. We would like to visit every country in the world at some point eventually, but we're not gonna put any timeline on it. It's about the journey itself. It's not about the destination. We're waiting for the boat, and it's getting quite stormy. As you know, motion sickness is not my best friend. This stormy weather is not it. How do I get through this?
Alright, look, we got an umbrella.
We're heading out. That's the boat. A little apprehensive about the ride that's coming up, but that's another thing, because we just read that apparently piracy is not completely off the table here.
No, but it's
rare, but it's not completely.
No, but it's only fishing boats, really. I just read 4 websites.
Okay,
yeah,
that's good.
So we're good.
We didn't die, but it was pretty close a few times. I'm not gonna lie. Made it without any accidents. So, and off we go.
Country 101, like, good so far.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see it in the sunlight too. But...
So we made it to our room. The crazy thing, thinking of like coincidences, this resort we just found out has 101 villas, and it's our 101st country. It would be kind of epic if we were in Villa 101, but we are not. Doesn't matter. By the way, this is not a sponsored stay. We don't even know if we recommend this resort yet. This reminds me of when you're a child, you know, and you arrive somewhere and it's dark and it feels so scary. Like, it's not quite the same, but since the weather is so dreary and gray and rainy, everything is a bit like, ooh, like, girl, white refrigerator vibes.
No.
Am I a diva? Depends who you ask. Ask my haters on Oskar and Dan. Definitely yes. But no, this is a beautiful room. Sometimes I wonder if I've become a character in White Lotus, but then I remember I care about culture. I've been to 100 countries. I'm interested in people. So, you know, I have some of those diva elements, but there's much more depth and much more interest than just going there and being ridiculously stupid and shallow. No shade.
Oh my god. I get up in the morning, I look out and I'm like, wow, the sea is right there. I'm just gonna go out for a swim. So I get in my swimsuit, I run out to the beach, and I get in the water, and I think within the first 10 seconds, yeah, that happens.
Good start. Oskar didn't even swim.
We're off to a great start.
Do, 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 do.
The first thing that happened as I stepped into the water was just... I think the funny thing is, I'm such a hypochondriac when I feel completely fine. But as soon as I know that there's like an actual issue, like I'm like, nah, it's gonna be fine, you know? This hurts quite a lot.
Wait.
Dan is like completely the opposite almost. He'll always go to the doctor. For me, I'm like, you know, do I really need to? And sometimes to my own detriment, because I'll just wait way too long. Let's see if I need to go to the doctor for this.
We realized we need to obviously buy shoes to swim in, because look what happened to Oscar's
That little
foot.
incident taught us a lot.
Yeah, so hopefully they don't overcharge and, you know, try to scam us with those.
All right, we got them. 45 euros each for these. Per shoe, no I'm kidding. But per pair. At least now we can go swimming, and hopefully these will last us for years. Now we have swimming shoes. Guys, look at this. This is the walk on the way to breakfast. Holy smokes, I can't wait to go swimming for real. The island that the hotel is on is so cool. Like, it's just basically this giant, luscious green mountain just jutting out from the ocean. It's called Silhouette Island, and funnily enough, this was the first island that the explorers discovered in the whole Seychelles. So a pretty important place when it comes to Seychellois history. I just want to say that over there is the North Island, which is probably one of the most famous resorts anywhere in the world. The honeymoon spot for Prince William and Kate. Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt went there. We were looking at booking it, and it took us about 2 seconds to realize that that was not going to be.
It's like about $10,000 a night. Great.
That's nothing. The sun protection police is out again. Dan, in his sun protection outfit, is giving Larry David on a day at the golf course.
I am a firm believer in not looking 50 when I'm 50, or not looking 70 when I'm 50. So I protect myself from the sun. It costs nothing. In fact, once you get used to not laying in the sun, it feels very weird when you're burning it, when you're just laying and toasting.
This is exactly what I pictured when I thought about the Seychelles before coming here. Wow, this is like a scene straight out of Castaway. This is unreal.
Okay, this is very unique and very cool. Check out this little spot. We're gonna be laying on the beach and no coconuts right above us that can kill us. All things on the checklist.
This is the story now. Nej! Alltså! Nej! What about 2.5 minutes? I'm getting a little worried this morning that I didn't take enough care or caution with my cut that I got yesterday on the corals. So I decided I'm gonna head to the medical center. We're supposed to be diving in less than an hour, or well, we're supposed to be there in less than an hour. I don't want this to turn into something that it doesn't have to turn into. I'm limping a little bit. I checked and I got my last tetanus shot in 2012. This is more than 10 years ago, and apparently you're supposed to get a booster every 10 years. This medical center at the hotel, their office hours are between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. and if you want to see the doctor outside of those times, you have to pay double the price. So there's that.
Not gonna lie, this hotel is a little frustrating. Although we're already paying a lot for the stay, they keep adding unnecessary fees that are pissing me off.
You know, I was going back and forth like, is it worth it? And then Dan was like, of course it's worth it, you know. And ooh la la, free feet pics. This is the wrapping they did. Not ideal, but things like this happen all the time when you travel a lot. It's just part of the fun.
Oskar thinks a good idea of a vacation is to take a hike through rainforest covered mountains, 4 hours each way to see some turtles. My idea of a good vacation is taking a boat to see the turtles. Let us know in the comments which one you are, and please be on my side.
Am I the more spontaneous one? Definitely. Do I not always think everything through? Maybe. But have many of my ideas during our travels led to some of our best travel moments? In my opinion, yes, for sure. It's just like, how cool is it to hike this barely inhabited island, like all across it to the other side, see humongous, like 100+ year old giant turtles. Like, to me, that's just not such a no-brainer. Like, of course we're gonna do it.
So Oscar thinks that all our best moments come from him forcing me to do something I don't want to do. Now, I'll admit, sometimes we do have great experiences when Oscar forces us to, but I think he's forgetting that many times I am moaning the entire time we're doing something and it's not good. But usually my suggestions don't require suffering, pain, exhaustion, hunger, being isolated and far from humanity. So there's a difference.
I think the biggest challenge here, though, is not necessarily gonna be convincing Dan, but convincing the hotel that we can go on this hike.
So obviously we're staying on an amazing, incredibly cool island that we've been wanting to explore, but our hotel is like really not allowing it. Like they just keep giving us conflicting information so we can never do it. Basically now we're just improvising our own little hike. We just want to see it, but you're not letting us. We're just stuck in the resort. Oscar, what did we do here yesterday that we didn't vlog?
Oh yeah, we went diving! Woo!
Scuba diving.
Yes, exactly. So here's the Paddy Center right here. So we went on a little boat. It was really beautiful. The dive itself was honestly like very mid, I'd say.
I think like since we got certified in Thailand, where we had the most incredible dives, it was literally like the Little Mermaid. We saw every animal you could imagine. And then since then, every dive we've done has been so underwhelming, especially here because the visibility was so bad. I feel like that was actually quite surprising that I felt like Phuket had the best corals we've seen, like the most live, right, Oscar?
Yeah. So now we're starting our self-made hike by walking through the little, I guess, community on Silhouette Island. This is home to around 200 people. So it's not a big city.
It looks so beautiful behind you. Do you see all the crabs?
Dan is very scared.
Why are they red? They're terrifying.
They are a bit terrifying.
These crabs all around the island are really cool. They're, I've never seen anything like them, but I also want to stay at least 10 meters away at all times.
Not gonna lie, this feels a bit like, that scene from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets when they're in the Forbidden Forest and all of a sudden Aragog comes out and all these spiders. This is literally that, but with the crabs. Like, they're everywhere. Luckily, I googled right before we went out if there are any dangerous animals in the Seychelles, and apparently there aren't that many. There are no poisonous snakes, or at least not deadly poisonous, and no spiders or anything like that. There is, however, a 10-centimeter poisonous centipede. Apart from the crabs and the danger of falling coconuts, knock on wood, we should be fine. Wow. This is gorgeous. How beautiful is this? Just a short hike away from the resort. And I bet most people don't even come here. Like, wow. I've always had such a fascination for the super remote, especially like really remote islands. I remember looking at the world map we had on our wall in my childhood home, and I would just stare at it like constantly, just looking at all these remote places and tiny islands, in the middle of the world's oceans. And that's why this spot right here just feels so cool. I mean, okay, we're like 20 minutes away from our hotel.
This hike is actually turning out a lot better than expected. In fact, it's probably the best part of the trip so far. So I'll admit I'm wrong, but luckily, I'm feeling a bit less like a White Lotus person now because I'm finding the beauty and I'm not complaining. But really, I wasn't complaining that much. It's just, for the drama. What a place.
I can't get enough. I just want to sit here all day.
I'm really curious and scared to see what people think of this video format. I'm also, excited because I thought this was really fun to record and share my reflections in real time. This is real time here, you see. Until
you hear from us in the next episode, see you around the world.
I definitely can't reveal the country because Oscar will be mad.
No, do it.
When I see people who sunbathe, I throw up a little, but only if they're ugly. No, I'm kidding. Oscar's like, ooh, cancelled. I'm just kidding, guys. I really don't care if someone else is sunbathing. These crabs all over the island are kind of like a herpes sore. See you around the world, guys. Bye, toodles.